What's going on YouTube? This is Tony here from Always Causing Racquet, and I'm back with another video. As you guys can guess, I've been testing out the NordicDots Model 99. Before we begin, I just want to let you guys know this is not a paid or sponsored interview. I'm not sponsored by NordicDots. I actually got this racket from Juan. As you guys know, he's from Restring. He makes Restring Zero and Sync, and he's also has a close sponsor with NordicDots. And he just messaged me back and said, hey, I have a free racket that they gave me to test. Just hit with it for a little bit, get your stuff, and then just give it back to me. So I was like, okay, cool. This is not sponsored. This is my true, like, unbiased opinion of NordicDots and their Model 99 racket. So we're just going to jump right in. This is a very isometric frame. When the moment I've brought this out a couple times, all of my teammates and friends were like, oh, is that a new Yonex racket? And I said, nope. This is a NordicDots. So they've really taken that whole isometric route, and this is a very prominent. Like, you can tell when you look at it that it's definitely not. It's definitely like gives older Yonex vibes. I strung this out with Toroline Caviar at 48 pounds. So this one was the 16L, so the 124 gauge. Super tight up at the top with the 16x19 string pattern. Again, I think their sweet spot is closer up to the top here. You know, it's more spaced out the closer you get to the bottom. So, you know, I'm assuming that their sweet spot and point of contact, it's mostly going to be right here up at the top area. It's a pretty dense string pattern with the 16x20. And you can see all the specs in the video. It's 300 grams, which, you know, I have not played with a 300 grams racket for a while. My Yonex E-Zone right now is 305, and my Wilson Ultra Tour 95 is 310 grams unstrung. So I measured this one. So with the strings and the overgrip, this came out to about 326 grams. So a little lighter than I'm used to, but you know, it was something worth trying. I really do like the glossy feel to it. I think it shines great. I love an all black racket. I like that it's just very clean throughout here. All you have is just the Model 99 here. You have the NordicDots symbol on the corner, which I think is interesting, and then just all the specs in this corner here. So we're just gonna jump right into the review. Starting off with forehands, I really liked my forehands, and honestly, I really like my ground strokes with these. It definitely takes a little time to get used to, because for me, at least, it was a little bit lighter, but also it has that pro stock feel. So if you guys have never tried a pro stock, I highly suggest trying out the Wilson Blade Pro 16x19 or 18x20. That's probably one of my favorite rackets that I've like play tested, just because it has that pro stock feel. I didn't have to add any weight to it, and at the tip of the head, it just felt like it was more like, it just had so much heft going into it. So when I swung with those pro stock blades, I just felt, you know, that the tip of the head was just going through, and you know, I could follow through very easily and just go fast. With this, I kind of felt something very similar, you know, just a little bit lighter, but I felt just that heftiness in the forehand and just like up here again, which makes sense because the sweet spot is right here, so closer to the top of the head. So I think that made the most sense. The one important thing to note is that I really had to swing fast with this racket. The moment I swung slow, or you know, if I was like warming up, the ball definitely had a much higher launch angle. So I don't know if that is due to like the tension that I have, or just due to how light the racket is, but the moment I swung slow, or if I was on defense, you know, and had to like chase a ball and try and hit a forehand, the moment I swung a lot slower than usual, you know, the ball would sail. But I still got really good topspin on it. I think the moment, you know, you step into the ball and you kind of like swing a little faster, the pace is really good hitting off of the frame. So I really like that. Going into the backhands, I sort of felt a little disconnected with it. It took me a while to get used to hitting backhands with this racket, and I think that's probably because the sweet spot, you know, of my other rackets is a little different. So I think it just felt a little disconnected and took some time to get used to. I will say though, because of the heftiness at the tip of the frame, for me at least, I really enjoyed hitting slices. I just felt like I could just cut through the ball. I didn't have to like swing as fast, you know, as long as I kind of like chopped at it, you know, at my normal speed. The slices really dug deep. So I really enjoyed hitting slices with this. I enjoyed hitting volleys with this racket. It was really good. Due to the lightness of the frame, I could get the racket out in front of me a little bit more and maneuver the racket better. I was making some clean contact with the ball. It wasn't popping up as much as I thought. So it was pretty stable up at net. I do think though, yes, the moment when I'm starting to get bullied by much higher level players or higher level shots, yeah, I'm losing that stability. But when I have time and I can like step in and just guide the ball and just redirect, I had no issues with that whatsoever. Serves, it's hard for me to give a review on serves just because I didn't play test serves as much as with this, and my form is off with my serves. I, for some reason, have an issue with just stopping here instead of, you know, going all the way through, especially on my second serves. So I felt really disconnected with it because the moment, you know, that I stop here and I'm not swinging fast and going all the way through, that's when there's no spin on the ball. So I was having issues with that, and I think that's more so just a personal preference. When I did swing through and hit those first serves and got, you know, and went through the court, I could definitely feel the power and pace coming off of my serves, and even like my teammates were just like, okay, well, the serves look pretty good for the first serves, but yeah, as soon as like my second serves and I just stop here, the serves were just landing too close to the service line or was going far out. So that's just more of a personal thing for me to work on instead of the racket. So you know, take that with what you will. So the question is, why did they make 300 grams? And you know, what's next for NordicDots? The reason I think they chose the 300 grams was that it is probably the most versatile for a lot of players and not just, you know, maybe intermediates to advanced. I think with 300 grams, it's easily accessible to a lot of beginners, intermediates and whatnot. And so as their first racket line to come out, you know, they want a lot of people to kind of buy into it, buy into their products and test it out and make it more accessible for, you know, to get that money in. If you go on their website now, everything's sold out, their tennis rackets. So I think it was very limited supply, and they only have 1/4 and 3/8 grips. So I think they're probably working on making some more now. They probably might have had good reception of it. You know, I'm sure you guys have seen Tennis Nerd stuff. I think he's kind of sponsored by them. So what does this mean next for NordicDots? So what I like to assume is that there's probably going to be a Model 99 Pro. Maybe it's a 18x20, maybe it's a 18x19, I don't know. And I think it will be heavier. I think they could do like a 305 grams or 310 grams. I'm assuming they'll probably keep it at maybe 300 to 305 grams. That way it's more easily accessible. I think if you were to have like, this could almost be like the standard version. I'm sure there must be a tour version of it where it's just slightly heavier for those intermediate to advanced players looking for some more of their rackets. I just think now, since it's their first racket release, they got to make it more accessible to everyone, hence the lighter versions. But what I do enjoy about this is you don't have to customize it as much. It does feel like a pro stock racket. I think for first racket editions, you know, it always takes a little bit for people to like buy into, you know, why pay for a racket when you can get like your trusty, you know, big brands like Wilson Yonex and Head and Babolat. But I think for the price, since it's a little bit cheaper, you know, I think that might be a little bit more accessible to everyone. I would just like to see what else is in store. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know if I would make a switch. I would love to hit with this a little bit more, maybe try adding some weight to it, but I think it's a good start. It's a good gateway if you're like sort of into that like pro stock feel, but you don't have the money to like buy these new Wilson Ultra 16x19 Pros or the Wilson Blade Pros. So this is a good, almost like a good gateway into pro stock feel rackets. So that's just my opinion. Love to hear your guys' thoughts about this racket. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and make sure to hit like and subscribe for some more stuff like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.
You stay? How many y'all need? Will. We need 2 points. Let's still get serious.
gosh.